Hey, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Lou. And today is a special day. It is opening day of spring training for the Cardinals. And a lot of people are excited for it, including myself. Um, so I'm just looking forward to seeing all our young guys get opportunities and just seeing how Wilson handles the pitching staff through spring. And just having baseball back almost every day is going to be nice until November. So that's something I'm looking forward to. So, Adam, how do you feel about having baseball back?
It's legit. People are revving up in Pittsburgh. I tell you that. It's weird because Pittsburgh baseball's been dead for like 4 years now, and
Yeah.
now all of a sudden McCutcheon comes back and everybody's back into baseball.
Yeah. So if you look at if he's obviously you can see that Sean is not here. He's on vacation, so it'll just be Adam and I today. But we have a pretty cool episode today. We wanted to go over all of the bets and division winners, World Series winner, MVP winner predictions that we have for the 2023 MLB season. So we could go ahead and just get right into this because I was looking forward to this all week. So
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, we had this idea literally right after the podcast last week,
mhm.
and no, I live in Ohio. Sports gambling is legal. I know it's not legal in Missouri, but still, if you're a listener and you live in a legal state, tail it because I feel like this will hit. But
Yes.
I'm using FanDuel. That's I think one of the biggest ones that a lot of people use, and I figured me and you both figured we can go through every division and see what the odds are like about each team, and then pick who we think's gonna win that division.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start American League. We're gonna do the National League Central last because obviously I have some bias there, but I don't think it's as biased. I think I'm gonna try to be unbiased as possible through everything here.
Well, we'll
So
start. We'll start with an kind of interesting division right now. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know. We'll start with the AL Central. Currently, the favorites at plus 145 are the Cleveland Guardians, followed up by plus 185 from the Twins, and then plus 250 for the White
they
Sox.
have the White Sox as the third place team, like favorite wise. That's surprising to me. This division's
That's a steep drop off because the last two teams from plus 250, which that's good odds. Don't get me wrong, but it's a steep drop off from there because next they have the Tigers at plus 2,000
yeah,
and then the
because
Royals at plus 4,000.
I would definitely have the Royals have a better chance than the Tigers. I think the Tigers are absolutely in a terrible, terrible spot.
Yeah, I haven't. Did they do anything in the off season?
No, they
I was
they
gonna say
lost. They
I forget.
traded. They did do one thing. They made a big trade. They traded Soto, their bullpen piece, which was a really good piece for them to Philly. They got Matthew Verling, which is a really good pickup for them. I don't know how much of an impact he's going to be because I don't. They went through a whole rebuild, and it just seems like their rebuild's not working. Like you have Spencer Torkelson, who had a really down year last year, who was supposed to be one of their best prospects. You have Riley Green, who struggled a little bit, but towards the end, he was really good for them. He was a really top prospect. So it just and like their pitchers too for their the rebuilding of their pitching staff, like Matt, like Mize and what was the other one? There's another rotation piece. I can't remember his name. He's young. There's talking about him being traded for some reason, but he's on the injured list. Let me find out that name.
I think Prince Fielder should pull the
There it
Albert
is.
Pujols.
Yeah, Scooball.
Scoop. Oh
Scooball.
yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Scooball. He's on the injured list. Had Tommy John surgery. Scooball had flexor tendon surgery. Like, these guys, like they're supposed to be like that's supposed to be the center, like the top line of your rotation, and it's just not good for the Tigers right now. So I don't think
Yeah,
they
they
have
have no
any
hope.
hope. They have
Yeah.
no hope. I think they just hope Miguel Cabrera could walk off in the sunset as it's his final year. And see what happens.
I
But
mean, how do you feel about the? I personally like the White Sox odds right here. I don't know. Deep down, I don't know if we took a deep dive on
I
that yet, but
so the White Sox would be an interesting pick because I know last year was very bad. I'm just shocked that they have them at third over because I think the Twins, yeah, they got Correa back, but I don't know. They had Correa last year and they didn't do much. And I still worry about their pitching staff. Overall, I think the Guardians have a way better pitching staff out of all the teams in this division. But the White Sox, like, they still have a lot of talent on this team. But they lost Jose Abreu.
Still have
Um,
Tim Anderson, right?
they still have Tim Anderson. They lost AJ Pollock. They lost one guy who was really good for them that wasn't expected, was Johnny Cueto. They lost him. He was one of like the
Cueto.
best. He was one of the best pitching pieces for them down the stretch for them.
Where did he go?
He went
Didn't
to
he?
Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Josh
Cueto.
Harrison, he's older, but he went to Philly.
Dude, that guy's a Pirates fucking legend. Like,
Vince Velasquez went to Pittsburgh. Yeah, they just don't have like it's just I I think Tony La Russa really hurt the White Sox last year. Just I think his management style was bad. Fangraphs has the White Sox at second place. That's like a prediction here. What's their total WAR? Because that will kind of give me a better understanding. Because to be honest, I just don't like this team. I just because
I
like
like
yeah,
their,
you
I
you
like their
still have
jerseys, dude.
they did get Andrew Benintendi. That's one big pickup for
Oh
them.
yeah,
They still have Tim Anderson. They have Luis Robert. They have Eloy Jimenez. They have Moncada, Andrew Vaughn, Gavin Sheets. Like they still have the talent there.
did
It's just
Abreu go to the Astros?
yes, he did.
Oh my god,
That was a big blow for them. Their pitching staff's really good still. Well, kind of. Dylan Cease is one of my favorite pitchers to watch. He is he has electric stuff. If you have not watched Dylan Cease pitch, he's slotted as their number one. Lance Lynn, former Cardinal. He I mean, he's 35 now. I mean, he started off a little rough last year with an injury, and he finished the year not great, but he's projected to have a 3.91 ERA, which ain't bad. But after that, you see a lot of fours in that ERA with Giolito, who unfortunately just got diagnosed with cancer. So
Jesus,
I pray for him. I mean, this White Sox team, and then they signed Mike Clevenger, who's now facing domestic violence accusations and possibly being suspended. It's just
they're not in a good situation.
they're not in a good spot. I would definitely not put the White Sox to win the division just because I know they got a new manager. I know they have guys who have the talent to win, but after last year, I just don't know if the energy's there anymore. Because I mean, there was the talk that the White Sox were the next big team, like through 2018
There's
to
a lot of hype around
2021.
them.
I mean, they were like they didn't really do anything besides make postseason. So, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
that
it's
leaves
unfortunate.
the Guardians and the Twins.
The Twins, I do like the Twins a little bit more. I like them more than the White Sox for sure. I like how they brought Correa back. I think that was obviously a great move by them. So they still have Buxton at their for their leadoff hitter in center field. He's a baller. I don't think you have to really talk much about that. Their rotation, they did get Pablo Lopez. I forgot about that. They have Sonny Gray, who was very solid a couple years ago. They have Tyler Mahle.
He came from the Reds, right, Graham?
Yeah, you have Tyler Mahle, Joe Ryan, and Kenta Maseta. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I mean that rotation's not bad. I think it's better than the White Sox right now. And then you look at their bullpen. I really like Duran. Duran is such a fun pitcher to watch as that's their closer. I think the rest of their bullpen is it could be better. There's a lot of fours in here to be projected, and there's not really names that you would really hope to see in like a big they try to make for a playoff push. So I think I'm just gonna go with the safe bet and go with Guardians just because that Guardians rotation, dude. I mean, there are some studs on this team, and I love this team because they're so young and they play the game completely different than the rest of the league. They do a lot of small ball, and I think that I just think it's more fun to watch, and I'm really interested to see what the rule changes with like the pitch clock, the bigger bases. A team like the Guardians might really like strive off that.
Yeah, a lot of these teams who are young, like really, really young talent compared to like, like teams like New York or Houston, who are like, these players have like solidified themselves for years now. But like teams like you said, the Guardians with these new rules and how fast paced the game is going to get this year,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Guardians are one of those teams that will succeed.
I mean, look at a guy like Steven Kwan, for example. I mean, he had a great year last year. He's an outfielder there. He's their left fielder, usually their leadoff hitter. He's all over the bases. He's running everywhere. You got Ahmed Rosario. You have Jose Ramirez still. You got Josh Bell. That's one of their big pickups this
Oh
year.
yeah,
That really helps them
yeah.
because their big problem last year was they just didn't hit enough home runs. But they play a lot of small ball, which gave them those wins. And when you play in division like the Central, you're going to win a lot of those games. But now since the schedule's kind of changed, it's kind of interesting how it's all going to play out. But you still got Josh Naylor. You got Oscar Gonzalez, who became one of my favorite postseason players to watch. He was the dude that had the SpongeBob walk-up song. And when he hit the walk-off home run,
Yeah.
that was awesome. The rotation, Shane Bieber, obviously, hopefully future Cardinal. So I hope they don't do well, but I think I would bet on them. Tristan McKenzie, that dude is gross to watch. Cal Quintrell, who's solid, and Aaron Savali, I don't know much about him. And Zach Plesac, who is he's not great, but he's a solid number 5, and that's where he's slotted at. Their bullpen can eat and can just eat. They have their closer, Emmanuel Kloss. That dude is. Have you ever seen that guy pitch?
I think I remember tuning
That
into one
dude
game
is
and seeing him close.
unbelievable. He had an unbelievable season. He had like a Ryan Helsley-esque season if you don't know much about him. But yeah, they have Eli Morgan, Trevor Steven, and Sam Henches, Nick Sandlin. So it's just a lot of solid guys in that bullpen and rotation, and that lineup can just be pesky. I'm definitely taking Guardians for the Central.
Well, oh, by the way, I forgot to say this for anybody who's listening. I'm making this parlay on FanDuel and I'm betting it today. So that's why we're not just looking at the odds and talking about it. I'm making the parlay.
Yeah.
So that we're gonna go after the Central. We're gonna go to the AL East.
Oh,
Currently,
this is my favorite. This is one of my
I was
favorite
gonna say
divisions.
this seems interesting. Currently, the favorites at plus 110 are the Yanks, and then below them, doubled odds are plus 220 for Toronto. Then right below them are plus 300 for the Rays, and then another fairly steep drop off, plus 2,000 for the Red Sox, and then plus 2,500 for the Baltimore Orioles.
They have Orioles. Like, that's like 5th place. That's surprising because the Orioles were better than the Red Sox to me last year. I don't know what the standings ended up being. Let me
I
look.
was gonna say I fairly because Adley Rutschman's up
That
Oriole,
dude,
right?
yeah,
That dude's good,
awesome.
man. He is a fucking ball player.
But yeah, um, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I like the Yankees as the number 1 spot. I know it's a
I don't
hot
know if I
take.
like the Yankees ever.
I mean, it's just like I know I know they brought Judge back. That's huge for them. But it seems like they made like these big moves, but they didn't really improve the team. They just kind of kept it mainly the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Right.
they spent so much money on Judge, they had to. I mean, their lineup is really looking really good. You got Glaber, Torres, Aaron Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Donaldson, which I know Yankee fans hate Donaldson, and Bader, Aaron Hicks, Oswald Peraza. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. And Trevino, who's a really solid catcher for them. They got IKF on the bench to play shortstop of me, but I think he'll start more, to be honest, over Oswald. I think Fangraphs has Oswald as a shortstop, but if there's Yankee fans watching, correct me. I thought he played mainly outfield, like towards the end of the season when he came up. So I'm not 100% on that, but you still got DJ LeMahieu on the bench. Their rotation is where they're getting all this credit right now because this rotation might be the best in baseball if healthy, and that's a big question mark for me. So they're obviously number 1's Garrett Cole. They have Carlos Rodon, which was their new pickup, which I thought was the best signing for them.
Yeah, that's why they ended up landing Rodon.
Luis Severino, uh, and then they have Nestor Cortez, who's Fangraphs has them projected to take a pretty big drop off compared to last year.
One of the starting pitchers on the rotations going through like a surgery. Who was
That
it?
is Frankie Montas.
Montas.
And then Domingo Herman is the slotted as the 5th spot. I mean, yeah. This even with the injury of Montas, I think this rotation is really solid. I think it's elite. But,
Garrett Cole is just a freak, man.
I mean, you have think about that 1-2 punch of Cole and Rodon.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
wild.
disgusting. So I mean, I like the Blue Jays though, and I like the changes that they made because I don't think I'm not going to put any other team over them. I think Tampa is just a hard team to talk about just because the way they like build their team so different. You don't really know a lot of these guys, and they just develop all of them, or they change a lot of these veterans to fit what they're trying to do with them and fit their role. So it's just kind of it's hard to really predict on where they're going to be, but I think they should always be in the conversation. But I don't think they will be first place. I think it's just down to Toronto and Yankees. But Toronto, their lineup, I love their lineup. I love I love the one move that they made to get Varsho from the Diamondbacks. That was a great move. Yeah, they gave up I forgot what his name was. He's that number 1 catching prospect for them. Who did they give up? I can't remember that name for the life of me right now. Varsho trade. Who did they give? It was a 3-player deal. Moreno, that's who it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, you still got George Springer, you got Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Kirk, Varsho, Chapman. They got Brandon Belt as well. They still have Whit Merrifield for the trade that they did last year. And then Kevin Kiermaier to play center field. I mean, their defenses and the outfield has improved massively compared to last year. They lost Teoscar, who was a big power bat for them and like a clubhouse guy. But I mean, you put guys like Varsho and Kiermaier out there for defense. I mean, they're just more that they fit more of a more solid outfield for defensively. I think that was just their big problem. Their rotation, they got Manoah, Gosman, Jose Barros, Chris Bassett, and I have no idea how to say that. They might don't know who this is. UC Kukichi. He's a free agent that was just signed this and last year. Yeah, I don't know how to say that name, but their bullpen, I like their bullpen a lot. They still have Anthony Bass in there. I think that was a good trade for them last year. Mitch White is still there. Trevor Richards, Adam Simber, Tim Mazza, Yimi Garcia, Eric Swanson, and Jordan Romano. And yeah, I mean, I like this team a lot. I just don't know, like looking at the Yankees rotation, that's the thing that's tough. If the Yankees rotation's healthy all year, which has questions because, Rodon has faced injury problems through his career, and he just had the one big solid year, and he's got paid this big bag for that last year. If he can stay healthy, I think Yankees run away with it. But it's not likely that they stay healthy. And also, can Aaron Judge repeat what he does in like what he did in 2022? Which, I mean, I think he'll still be a great player, but I mean, you're asking a lot for a guy who had 63 home runs.
Yeah, my God.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I would actually go Blue Jays to win this division.
You think?
I think I would for me because I really like the moves that they made. I think adding Varsho and just having more of the defense in mind for their outfield and to kind of go away from just being just a power hitting team and to have a little bit more a more diverse lineup. I think that's really going to benefit them. Especially when they go through like slumps, they have just different ways to get out of it now. And I think their pitching staff can hold on through a 162 season better than the Yankees could just with health wise. And I think the Yankees lineup, if there's just a couple injuries to them, I think their bench depth, I don't like it at all. I mean, you don't want to put IKF out there, to be honest, to play shortstop for you. And then you still got DJ LeMahieu. And I think that's the other one that they have on their bench is Oswald Cabrera, which I think that was the one I was thinking of who played the outfield. So Oswald Peraza is the shortstop. Kyle Hikashoa. I have no idea. I'm my bad. He's been in the league for a long time, but I can't say that name right now.
So
but
you're taking Blue Jays.
I'm taking Blue Jays just because.
Final answer.
I love the Yankees rotation, but if Rodon and Court and Nestor get hurt, I mean, that could be devastating for them. So,
right. Well,
AL West.
That's an interesting division, though. The AL West. This is where it gets like
Astros.
Yeah, this is like
I don't think you have to even talk about it.
Really, because this is. I'll just tell you the odds right now. This is wild. So the past two divisions of the Central and the East we've gone over, every team has had a positive odds. So like when you have positive odds, you're gonna gain from say like you have plus, I think it's 200. You put $1 down, you'll win $3 or something like that. I can't remember how it exactly works, but they've all been plus something. The Astros are minus 200 right now as the favorites.
Yeah,
which that's not crazy. They could be like minus 9,000, and that'd be like a dead giveaway. But
I think with the Astros, the team's just too good. I mean, everyone knows the names of them. They're at this point. You could talk about the cheating allegations from 2017. At this point, for me, if they've won 2 championships since 2017, they've been in the ALCS almost every year besides one, I believe. I think that was 2018. Yeah, that's right. They won an ALCS every year since 2018. That's what I meant to say. They're the Chiefs. They're the Chiefs of baseball at this point.
Okay.
And it's just like you look at the division. I mean, obviously Oakland, they're not going to be competing.
I want you to guess what the standings are on FanDuel. So you have Astros number 1, obviously. Who do you think is number 2?
Seattle.
Okay, that's correct. 3.
I think they would I think they always like Angels for 3rd.
Correct.
And then 4. Rangers and then A's.
Guess I'll give you everybody's odds. This is hilarious. I just noticed this. Seattle's at plus 360. Not that much of a drop off from the Astros, but it's still a lot.
Seattle's a good team. I love that Seattle team, but it's just I think they're just at a disadvantage because they have the Astros in their division.
And the Angels, who are literally, I love Mike Trout and I love Ohtani.
They made some solid moves.
Don't sleep on them. I'm not going to sleep on them, but they're honestly, the way this is looking, I see this to be the exact standings
it will be the exact standings.
I know.
I don't think, but back to that, I don't think the Angels will be 3rd place. I think the Rangers will be 3rd place. Because with their rotation, I think DeGrom being added to that team, and now they have some more competent pitching than they did not have the year before. I think I would put Rangers 3rd place and then Angels 4th. Just because the Angels, they never cease to amaze me on how they lose. It's amazing. It's amazing how bad they are. But you look at their team and the roster, it doesn't look like it's that bad. It doesn't look bad at all. But you have two of the biggest stars in the game, and they can't even reach 500. I can't explain it. But I really can't.
They're at plus 700. Rangers are at 4 with plus 1,000. This is how much the A's must be terrible.
The A's are the worst team in baseball.
They're at from plus 1,000 from the Rangers. The A's are at plus 25,000.
My God.
So I just out of curiosity. So the 3-leg parlay I got going on right now, right? We picked the Guardians, Blue Jays, and Astros all to win their respective divisions. If I take out the Astros, right, a $10 2-leg parlay between the Guardians and the Blue Jays to win their divisions only wins me $68 if I put $10 down. If I add the A's, $10 would win me $19,000.
Oh my
That's
God.
how bad that's how they just don't they have no confidence in them. And you know what? It's
Well,
hard to
it's
it's hard to bet against the Astros, literally.
well,
Like
you can't put any confidence in the Oakland Athletics, dude.
no,
You can't.
no.
They're a shell of what they used to be.
They're gonna
They're just trying to get to Vegas at this point.
yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna be the next team that moves.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think we really need to go into roster details with AL West
Not
just because
much.
you kind of know it's kind of pretty clear the Astros are going to be there. But I think if I want to make a prediction, I think Seattle will be a little closer than what it's projecting. I think Seattle's that talented, especially adding Colton Wong and Teoscar to that team. I mean, that could be
Yeah.
that could change that team too. You still have Julio, obviously. That team's just fun. That's a fun team, and Robbie Ray's still there as an ace type pitcher who had a little bit of a bad first year, but I think he'll bounce back for sure. He's too talented, but yeah, Astros for sure for number one. I don't think there's any question on that.
No, there's none, no debate. And if you want to debate, you're retarded. I'm sorry. All right, so we're doing Central last. We're gonna go to the
I would do NL East.
NL East.
And
Current favorites.
This is my favorite.
Yeah,
This is my favorite division.
This is a really, really good division, I think. I mean, between the top three, maybe not the bottom two, but it's still interesting.
But the bottom two have something to offer. And I'll get
Right,
maybe not the
they do.
Nationals, but the
The
Marlins
Nationals
do.
and the Marlins.
The Marlins have that elite pitching staff with led by Sandy Alcantara. They're going to win games, and they're going to be annoying
Sandy's
to
the
face.
dog. Talking about Sandy because we're gonna have definitely enough time to dive into the award winners.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into that.
We'll get into that. But the current favorites for the NL East are plus 135, and that goes to the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
And then not much of a difference at plus 140 are the Mets. And then the Phillies have the 3 spot at plus 300. So it's pretty close race between the 3 teams. But I don't know how I feel about the Phillies with the Bryce Harper injury.
The Bryce Harper injury is definitely concerning.
Yeah.
But I think the Phillies, the one thing the Phillies did this offseason, that if you don't remember what last year's conversation was about the Phillies, they talked about how their bullpen was just not good. They had, and their pitching staff in general just wasn't good. And, when you look at everything that they did this offseason, I mean, they just came off of a World Series, right? And it was kind of improbable World Series. They were close to not even making playoffs towards the end. They made it on the final day. So you look at what they have. I mean, you know the lineup. The lineup is no question. You have Schwarber, Harper, JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins, Nick Castellanos, and then they just signed Trey Turner. I mean,
that's
hello.
Yeah, like
I mean that lineup is unbelievable. And then you look at their pitching rotation, which I think a lot of people aren't really talking much about their rotation right now, which I think is kind of a disservice to them because I think they deserve all this credit right now for this rotation that they've built. They have Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Tyon Walker from the Mets this last year, Ranger Suarez, and the other for the 5th spot is Bailey Falter. I mean, that top 2 is ridiculous.
I was gonna say that's a very solid rotation,
and that's what costed us the Cardinals that playoff spot. And like in that series was because we're facing 2 great pitchers in a very short series. So in a short game series, they're going to win. And then they showed through the playoffs that their lineup, when hot,
is unstoppable.
You have to watch out. I mean, They made the Padres look foolish in the
Yeah, my
NLCS.
God.
And the Padres are a very talented team, and I'm not putting that against them. It's just that Phillies team was on another level when it came to that postseason run. In the bullpen, they made a lot of moves. So that was one thing that people were talking about last year. Like I said, was their bullpen. Just their acquisitions this year. They brought Craig Kimbrell. They got Gregory Soto for their bullpen, and then just to kind of cover up everybody else, they have Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jose Alvarado, Andrew Belletti. Then they got Connor Brogdon and Nick Nelson. So that bullpen looks a lot nicer than it did just a year ago. And yeah, Bryce Harper being out is definitely going to hurt. But I mean, look at this: Trey Turner, Schwarber, Hoskins, Remuto, Castellanos, Derek Hall, Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, and Brandon Marsh.
If they can win games without Harper,
and they did that last year. They did that last year. Remember, he was hurt.
Oh yeah,
half the year.
Yeah. So,
and they
still
didn't
made
have
the
Trey Turner. They didn't have Trey Turner. Their rotation was ass. Because I think Wheeler and Nola were kind of like sidelined for a couple weeks, and their bullpen kept blowing games.
Yeah.
And even when Nola and Wheeler were going, they couldn't hold on because of their bullpen, and their offense would slump a little bit, and then they could not win games at all. So it was, but then towards the end, they all kind of came together, but they filled everything that they needed to, which is what I would give them a lot of credit for. Like, you needed another rotation spot. You got Taijuan Walker, who I think is overpaid, but he's still a solid pitcher to slide in to that rotation to eat you up innings to where you have a chance to win. You had the questions about your bullpen. You brought in like a former one of the greatest closers in baseball, Craig Kimbrell. Now, he was bad with the Dodgers. I don't know how he'll do with the Phillies, but I mean, that's still, you should still give them credit for bringing him in. And then they did the trade for Soto, which I thought was probably the best pickup that they could have done with the bullpen wise. Because for the Tigers last year, he was a dog. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the Phillies do. I'm not sleeping on them for the first place pick, but the thing is you have the Mets and Braves, and that's what I think it's ultimately going to go down to. For second place, I think you can flip flop whoever the division winner is, because I think these teams can be switched around and no one will think you're insane. That's what's crazy about this division. The Mets, I want to talk about the Mets because I think that's the team that most people think would win the division. Like if you're going against the Braves odds, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree. Only because, like, you look at their lineup for the Mets, they got Brandon Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Daniel Vogelbach, Mark Canha,
Danny Burgess,
Eduardo Escobar, and Omar Narvaez as their catcher. Then they got for their rotation. Now this is something. This rotation, my God, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Kodai Senga, who was just signed from the Japanese League this year, Carlos Carrasco, and Jose Quintana, the Cardinals' best pitcher last year, is slotted as their fifth starter. He put up a 2 ERA last year, and he's slotted as their fifth. Man, that was.
But if Scherzer, I think Verlander could stay healthy. If Scherzer could stay healthy, and then Quintana, if he pitches like he has been,
that team's gonna win.
That's terrifying.
But the thing is, I don't think they'll stay healthy. They're it's an older team. That's for sure.
They signed Grandpa Time to their starting lineup.
I don't like their bullpen, to be honest. Like, they have some solid pieces in here, but from day to day, like, obviously you know Edwin Diaz, Mr. Trumpets, you know who he is. Adam Ottavino, he's solid. David Robertson, which I thought was a pretty good pickup this year. Brooks Raley, Drew Smith, John Curtis, Steven Nagosek, and Eliza Hernandez. They are all projected to be the bullpen. Their lineup, I don't know if I even like their lineup's good, I just don't know if it's better than the Braves. You know what I'm saying?
Let's take a dive into the Braves then,
Because
because we obviously know how good they are.
the Braves lineup, dude. I To be honest, I think the Cardinals, Braves, and Phillies have the best lineups in baseball. Just throwing that out right now.
Biased.
No, I don't think it's biased at all. They were ranked number 1 actually on someone's thing. I think it was like I saw someone on Twitter. But look at this. Listen to this Braves lineup. You ready? Tell me if you think this team will lose to the Mets. Ronald Acuna, Michael Harris, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, who they just picked up, Ozzy Albies, Eddie Rosario, Marcell Ozuna, and Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom is a stud. And
yeah, dude,
they were able
don't
to
know.
get rid of Dansby Swanson for this guy. And then on the bench, they got Travis d'Arnaud, who is a very solid catcher for them. I think he would be a starter catcher for a lot of different teams right now. They have Orlando Arcia, Sam Hillard, and Jordan Luplow. Their rotation, again, I think they're just as dominant as the Mets. Max Fried, Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton, Spencer Strider, Ian Anderson.
I'm gonna take. This is my professional opinion. I'm taking the Braves, dude. I'm telling confidence.
You that team is. I mean, again, they did struggle towards the Braves struggled from after the World Series last year. People were wondering what was happening with them, but they came all the way back. They were the best team in baseball from like June till the end. So, yeah, I don't know that Braves team is stacked. It's going to be really close. I think I would go Braves only because I am worried about the Mets health-wise. I am worried about the Mets bullpen a little bit more than I am with the Braves bullpen. And the lineup of the lineup of the Mets, I just don't think it can compete as much as the one with the Braves. Just
right.
I mean, from position to position, it just seems like the Braves just have a one up on them. So,
well, I agree. This is between them and the Mets. It's hard, but like it literally comes out like you said, just pure. If they can stay healthy. I mean,
yeah.
Scherzer and Verlander, they're old, man. They're old. I mean, they're still dominant when they're on the field, but when they're
I mean, yeah, we have to remember Justin Verlander just came off of the Cy Young. We have to remember that too.
Yeah.
And it is exciting to see Verlander and Scherzer back and kind of repeating that Tigers team.
Yeah, that's
late 2000s.
Yeah.
So,
all right, moving on.
NL West.
NL West.
Now, this one is another one. I bet Dodgers are listed as favorites, obviously.
Yeah, Dodgers are listed at minus 135, and right below them are the Padres.
I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that at all.
This is weird, dude, because if you don't agree with it, who do you have above the Padres?
I'm just saying. I think the Dodgers. What I was saying I don't agree with was the Dodgers odds. I don't know why they're that low. I don't like that. I don't like where they are right now. They're kind of like.
I mean, I'd say the Padres were going to be the leading contender.
I think they are the lead. I think they are the number 1 team, and we have to remember too. The Dodgers are a team kind of like the Rays, just with a lot of money. They will find players, and they will make them to what they want them to be, and they will make them dominant. I mean, let's not forget, they made Tyler Anderson and Andrew Heaney look like absolute studs last year. Before then, they were talking about being out of the league. So we cannot forget about the Dodgers development. But the thing that worries me, they can pitch. So I'm not worried about their pitching staff at all. The only thing I'm worried about with their pitching staff is they do not have Walker Buehler this year at all. And you got Clayton Kershaw still. You got Arias, Gonsolin, Syndergaard, and May. May has struggled to stay healthy all his career. Kershaw is still he's like the Adam Wainwright of the Dodgers. He is just one of these guys who just go out there every day. Julio Urias, who is he's a stud when he's right. And Noah Syndergaard had a decent year towards the end with the Phillies, but I don't know how I feel about him long term. But again, he's on the best team that could possibly change him as the Dodgers. And you look at their bullpen. Their bullpen's just deep. And it's just like a whole bunch of guys that they acquired over the years, and they just make them good pitchers. I don't understand. But their lineup is what concerns me. Um, Obviously, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, they're the two big ones. But they lost Justin Turner and Trey Turner. I mean,
Yeah.
Justin Turner, I know he did not do as well towards the end, but think about the clubhouse atmosphere. And they lost Cody Bellinger,
Yeah. I mean, they've
which
lost a
again, they
lot of
not
pieces.
Cody Bellinger has not been good. I get it. But you have to think about the clubhouse atmosphere with that too, just going into a season. I mean, the Bellinger and Justin Turner were like, especially Turner was like, these guys were supposed to be like lifelong Dodgers. Like, no, Turner wasn't, but he was like, he completely revitalized his career with the Dodgers completely, and he was like he was just like beloved in that city and with that fan base. I just don't know how it's gonna be without him, but you still got a good lineup still. You got Will Smith, Max Muncy, who had a down year last year, JD Martinez, which was an interesting pickup for them. He was a free agent after the Blue Jays, and they got him. Gavin Lux, Trace Thompson, David Peralta, and Miguel Vargas. And Miguel Vargas is slated as being one of the top Rookie of the Year candidates. But I mean, just compare it to the Padres lineup, dude. I mean, I don't think people understand. I didn't really. I when I was preparing for this episode, I really had no idea. When I was looking at that lineup, I forgot on how
Yeah,
stacked this
it's
team is.
stacked. It is. I mean, on the field, you got Soto, Machado, Tatis Jr.
Oh,
And
dude. And
I
the thing is,
mean,
I forget about Tatis all the time
yeah,
about
because
this
he
team.
didn't play a lot last
Well,
year.
he didn't play at all last year.
Yeah.
So you have Xander, Soto, Machado, Cronenworth, Cruz, Carpenter, Sung Kim, Trent Grisham, Austin Nola. I mean,
Then in their
you added
bullpen,
that's not even including Tatis in that. Tatis is
yeah.
still a part of that.
And
And
then
then,
look at their bullpen. I mean, yeah, you Darvish.
well, you mean the rotation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have you Darvish, Musgrove, Snell. They brought Michael Waka in, Nick Martinez, and they have Seth Lugo listed as a pitcher, which is interesting as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Their bullpen. We can't. I mean, you got Josh Hader, Robert Suarez, Luis Garcia. Which Luis Garcia, I don't know how he did last year. I have to look at it, but he was really good for us in 2021. He was a part of that winning streak for the Cardinals. Then they got some other guys, like some more depth pieces, like they had Drew Pomeranz, Steve Wilson, Tim Hill, and Nabil Chrismat. And then the only thing they have right now is they have Eguy Rosario, who is listed on the projected injury list. He with a fractured ankle. I don't even know. I don't know where he would even play. He's an infielder, but I've never been. I didn't know he was on the team. And then they have obviously Fernando Tatis, who is eligible for return on April 20th on 420 day. Fernando Tatis comes back. Who do they play? That should be interesting. Who do they play when he comes back? What did I say the date was? April
420.
20th? Oh, yeah. 420. Let's see who they play. They play the Diamondbacks. Damn, that's boring.
Yeah, that's whack.
It's in Arizona, too. That's boring. But
Well,
I'm going Padres.
Yeah, that's
I know it's
confident
I
it's
know it's kind of
clear.
hard to bet against the Dodgers, but I think I am. I would. I think I like the money line for the Padres more than I do like the Dodgers. So you're gonna make more money, and I think it's worth the risk. So
So now we're on to the NL Central. You don't have to say much. I know the Pirates are going to win the division. That's pretty clear.
I I think so. Obviously, realistically, it's down to the Brewers and Cardinals. You could put Cubs in that, but I don't agree at all.
Cardinals are the favorite.
Yeah,
By
what's
a
the
lot.
odds?
Cardinals are at minus 130. They're the only other team in the league with a minus odds.
Dodgers were, aren't they?
Nope.
Wait, they weren't? I thought Dodgers were minus.
No, let me check. Hold on. Oh, yeah, they are. So you, Dodgers, and Astros.
Yeah, for the Cardinals, obviously, since we're a Cardinals podcast, everyone knows the players. The Cubs made some decent moves, but I don't think it's enough for them to win the division. I think the Brewers are the only team that's going to compete for it. And I think the Brewers are going to be selling at the deadline.
I think so too.
It's not a bias thing. I honest to God think that's going to happen because I just like I know they're kind of going through like a retool right now. They still have some guys on this team that I think need to be talked about. Obviously, Willie Adames, that dude's a stud to watch. They got William Contreras, which was a strange, good job for the Brewers though. I'm getting involved in that. Sean Murphy trade. I don't know how they went in there. They went in that trade and just said, "Yeah, we'll just give you these couple guys." And the Oakland like it, and Braves like, "Hey, we want Sean Murphy. We'll give you William." They're like, "Well, fuck yeah, I'll take William Contreras." Oh, I don't know how they ended up being a part of that trade, but I mean that was a great trade for them.
Yeah,
great trade, and I don't think any Cardinal fan needs to acknowledge that. I think Jesse Winker is a solid pickup too. I think Jesse Winker will strive better in that stadium more than Seattle. I know there were some problems with him in Seattle, but I think with the Brewers, I think just that clubhouse atmosphere and him being back in a ballpark that he played in for the beginning part of his career, I think it's just better for him overall. Then you got Luis Urias, who had a down year last year. I'm not really that high on him. But he can go at hot stretches for sure. Garrett Mitchell, who is one of their top prospects. He can be a really solid center fielder for them. He's really fast. He's one of the fastest players in the league. Tyrone Taylor, Bryce Turan, and then I think where the most excitement of this team comes in is their I forgot a couple of lineup pieces. Obviously, Yelich is still there, but we know how bad he's been lately. Unfortunately, I feel bad for him, to be honest. I don't feel bad for the money he's making, but I feel bad that he can't get back to where he was at like in 2019 and 2018. And then they have Rowdy Tellez at first base. But back to what I was saying earlier, the rotation is where everyone is really excited to see. Corbin Burns, I don't think there's any introduction of what he's done.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Brandon Woodruff, kind of the same way. He's just kind of just a little bit of a lesser version of Burns. Just he's like a perfect number 2. Eric Lauer, he's up and down, but when he's right, he's right. So I think you have to look out for him too. Freddie Peralta, we kill him to the Cardinals. Cardinals killed that dude. His ERA against the Cardinals is wild. Let me find. It's something insane. ERA versus Cardinals. Oh, that's not right. No way, that's right. Because it's at 18. I was like, no, that's not right. I don't know, but I know it was a lot. Here, I got it now. Stat Muse. This is what I was looking for. What was Frankie Montas's ERA versus the Cardinals in his career?
I don't know.
It is an 18 ERA versus the Cardinals in his career. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I said Frankie Montas. I'm an idiot. I'm trying Freddie Peralta. What is Freddie Peralta's ERA versus the Cardinals in his career? Okay. I was shocked. Because I don't know why Frankie Montas came in my head, but I remember that Frankie Montas game. That was the game that it was his debut against the Yankees. It was the first time the Cardinals ever faced him, and we killed him. It was ridiculous. So Freddie Peralta has an ERA of 6.59 versus the Cardinals in his career. So we do kill him. And they have Wade Miley as their number 5. Bullpen for them, they got guys, but I don't know if I like them overall. Devin Williams, obviously, you know what he's going to do. Matt Bush, he was a pickup for them at the deadline, which I just don't think he's not going to fill what Hader did, which is kind of like it seemed like they wanted Williams to take that closer role, and they wanted to fill the innings that Devin Williams was doing, like in the 8th, with other pieces, which just I didn't understand that, because that they got like Matt Bush, then they got who's the other one they got? I guess the other one that they got's not. Oh, it's Trevor Rogers, but he's gone. Peter Straczynski, Hobby Milner, Javi Guerrera, Bryce Wilson, Joel Pampas, I think.
Pampas.
Adrian Hauser. So, I just there are guys on this team that have a lot of talent. That's clear. I think they're clearly a second place team, but with the Cardinals lineup, I think that's just what makes them better. I think the Brewers rotation is light years better than the Cardinals rotation. But if Jack Flaherty's like healthy, then I think they can actually compete with them. But even then, that lineup for the Cardinals just is like completely night and day versus the Brewers. Yeah. So no offense to Brewers fans, but that lineup is not as good as ours. So it's gonna be Cardinals for the division winner for sure.
So
moving on from that, we have awards now.
Yeah, but before we do that, because you can't parlay the awards with the
I know
division winners. So I'm gonna place this. This is the final 6-leg parlay. So we have Guardians winning the AL Central, Toronto winning the AL East, Houston winning the AL West, Braves in the NL East, Padres in the NL West, and the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL Central.
I like that. I think there's some hot takes in there, but there's some safe bets in there too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put, obviously, if anybody else wants to do it, but I'm not rich, so I'm putting a $10 bet down to win $1,139, which that's a very fucking good payout, as me.
And I think it's a very realistic hit.
Yeah, and I am going to place it. Oh my god, hold on. I gotta sign in to FanDuel.
But
I am signed in. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think all those picks. Obviously, I think the two hot takes were the NL West, and the ones I'm kind of concerned about: the NL West, the NL East, and maybe the AL Central, just because that division's all wonky because they're not all that good. But I think those are the only divisions I'm uncomfortable with. But everyone else, like the East. Oh no, Central I'm fine with. It's the AL East with the Blue Jays. I think
that's a weird one, but I feel like that's a good take though. If there was any hot takes that I feel safe with, it's that one.
And the Padres one.
Yeah. Well, the Padres isn't really much of a hot take. I just don't know why.
I think it is a hot take.
You think?
I think it is a very hot take to say that the Dodgers are going to lose the division for the first time, and they've only lost one division in the last like 10 years, and that was in 2021 to the Giants, which I still don't understand. I don't understand how the Giants did that in 21.
Yeah, I don't even know. Okay. All right, where you at? All right, award winners. Do we want to start with Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, which MVPs? What do you want to do?
Let's start with Cy Young.
All right, we'll do the NL Cy Young first. I'll go over. I'll just go over the top 5 because they're all dogs. So the leading current favorite at plus 500
is
probably Sandy Alcantara. Behind him with
I can't believe they traded him.
The same odds at plus 500.
Is it Zach Gallen?
No, Corbin Burns. Zach Gallen's not even on here.
What?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I just found him. So like the top, I'll tell you the top 5.
Okay.
Alcantara, Burns, Verlander at plus 700.
I forget Verlander's in the National League now.
Yeah. Scherzer at plus 800. Spencer Strider at plus 1,000. Those are your top 5. And then it goes Max Fried, Aaron Nola, and then Zach Gallen.
I like Zach Gallen's pick because let me pull up what he did last year.
I wonder where Jack Flaherty's at.
That's kind of interesting. I don't think he'll win Cy Young, but I mean, if he get in the conversation,
he's not even on here.
You can't even put a bet on him.
No, Jose Quintana's on here.
What? You can't even put a
Taiwan
bet.
Walker.
You could probably put a bet on Jack Flaherty.
I'm trying to find his name. No.
Wow. So Zach Gallen's the guy that I would pick personally, and here's why. He's going to get a lot of innings with the Diamondbacks. Because they're a good team, but they're not like they're just kind of rebuilding with all their prospects. They're just in a really tough division, so it's just kind of hard for them to really compete. But he's going to get a lot of time to start. Last year, he had 184 innings, which was his career high in innings. He had a career high in ERA at 2.54. He had a FIP of 3.05 and a total WAR of 4.3. He strikes out 9.39 batters per nine. He does not walk many. He only walks 2.3 per nine. He does not allow any home runs per nine, 0.73. His ground ball rate is also very high at 46%. So I mean, I think I like Zach Gallen for these odds. The other person I was thinking of was Spencer Strider, but the problem with Strider is I think Strider could win it if he pitched that much. The problem is he strikes everybody out to the point where he doesn't go deep in the innings. So, like, let me pull up what he did last year because he was incredible last year. He broke Randy Johnson's record for the first pitcher to reach 200 strikeouts. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah, let's see. In 2021, he only had 131 innings pitched. He had 13 Ks per nine, 13.81.
That's wild.
That's disgusting. 2.39 xERA, a 2.67 ERA. He allows less home runs than Gallen did at 0.48. With a WAR of 4.9 and a FIP of 1.83. God, this dude is
a
he's
monster.
so good. But the thing is I don't know with voters, they really value the amount of innings you pitch, you know? And I think the problem with it is he just doesn't really he just doesn't pitch enough innings in a year because you know that you want to keep this guy healthy. But he strikes out so many people to the point where he's not going deep in the games at all because he's only going to the fifth inning because he's already at like 100 plus pitches because he's striking out literally every batter in the lineup. Right. I think he struck out like 8 Cardinal batters in a row last year.
My God.
I'm like this dude is ridiculous. I think I'm going to take Gallen off the table only because I like Sandy's repeat odds, but I really like Strider too.
Who are you taking?
He's projected through Zips. He's projected to have 149 innings pitched. How many? And like, well, Alcantara, he had so many innings pitched last year because he goes deep into games. He closes out games. It's kind of stupid how ridiculous he is. Sandy had 228 innings last year with a 2.28 ERA. I mean, that just tells you everything right there of what he can do. But name off the players again one more time. The top 5.
Top 5 is Alcantara, Burns, Verlander, Scherzer, and Strider.
I'm not going Scherzer. I don't know why he's even top up there. Just because of his age, I don't think he's gonna pitch at the innings. I think I'm actually gonna stick with Zach Gallen. I think he's gonna come out and shove. The fact that we had Zach Gallen and Sandy on this Cardinals team is just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going Zach Gallen as my Cy Young pick. I think he will surprise a lot of people. I think he'll pitch a lot more than Strider does.
Yeah.
And I think he'll put up a similar like base stats than Strider, but Strider would definitely be a number 2 pick. Like if you pick Strider, I wouldn't be against it, but I just don't know how the voters are going to react to how many innings he pitches and if he could stay healthy through the 162 with how many innings he throws, so they can't really push him too much. So that's why I'm going Zach Gallen, because I think it's just more of a safer all around bet.
So the current for the AL Cy Young, the current favorites are Jacob deGrom at plus 500, Garrett Cole at plus 700, Dylan Cease at plus 900.
He's really good. That's what I was talking about with the White Sox.
Yeah, Carlos Rodon plus 1,000, Shohei Ohtani plus 1,200.
Shohei would be my pick, but the problem with Shohei is I think they just give him MVP because he's a hitter
Yeah.
and a pitcher, so it's just kind of hard. I don't like DeGrom pick because I don't know if he's going to stay healthy.
I don't mind the Garrett Cole pick.
The Garrett Cole pick's not bad, but I just don't know. I don't know. Who's the other one?
Cease and Rodon.
Cease and Rodon. I like the Cease pick. But I don't know if he's going to be Cy Young level.
There's a lot of other. I mean, like I'll go down a couple more. I mean, it's Alec Manoah is below
No,
Ohtani. Shane McClanahan,
Shane McClanahan's a dog.
Louis Castillo, and Tyler Glasnow.
Luis Castillo is a Cy Young candidate?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He has better odds than like Bieber, Robbie Ray, Kevin Gausman.
Wow. That surprises me.
Yeah.
Who's that one Astros pitcher? I don't even think you named him.
Nestor Cortez.
I'm not picking him. Let's see. I didn't find this Astros pitcher. I was see if he's healthy because we didn't pull him up. Framber. Oh, I think you said Luis. I think I got all mixed up on who you said. Luis Garcia is the Astros pitcher.
Yeah,
but he's not the one I was thinking of.
He's on here.
Yeah,
he's fairly low though.
Who is that I just clicked on? I can't remember. I think I want to go. Let's see if this is the right guy. Where's Christian Javier land?
Christian Javier. He is below Shane Bieber.
I think I'm gonna go him.
Really? That's a hot take.
He had last year he had with the Astros. He one, I like this pick because he's on a winning team, number one. I think that adds a lot to voters, even though Sandy won last year, but Sandy had an unbelievable year. So he had 148 innings pitched. He strikes out 11.74 Ks per nine, 2.54 ERA, a FIP of 3.16, and a WAR of 3.4. I like this pick because he's projected to really uptick his innings here, from 148 to about 160, 170, and I think that K rate's really good. I really like that K rate, and it seems like he's durable. He's younger, and he was disgusting last year. I'm going Christian Javier for AL Cy Young.
I'll take it.
What's his odds?
Plus 2,400.
Oh, you're gonna win. So this is a parlay, or is this just individual bets?
This is I'm parlaying all the winners. Yeah. Right now we're at a 2-leg parlay. $10 would win me
Are we splitting this money?
$40. Are you giving me any money, or is this I'll put 20 on?
I'm giving you the I'm giving you these
You're
answers.
Giving me the information. Yes, if we hit, I'll give you like $1.
I will wait till MVPs. that might skyrocket everything.
Oh yeah. So do you want to do the MVPs last? You want to do rookie of the year?
Let's do rookie of the year.
Okay, so we'll start with the AL. Current favorites: Gunnar Henderson at plus 240.
I'm going with him.
It's right off the bat. You don't want to hear anybody else. I've never heard of any of these guys.
I'm going right with Gunnar Henderson.
Okay, then I'll tell you the top 5: Henderson, Yoshida, Hunter Brown, Tristan Cassis, Grayson Rodriguez, and Josh Jung.
Gunnar Henderson.
All day?
All day. Okay. That dude is a monster.
Quick talk. Shut down. All right. Whoa, holy fuck. Okay.
National League's kind of interesting because there's a lot of different pieces. I really like Corbin Carroll. I think he would be high up on these odds.
Yes, he's leading favorite. Corbin Carroll's plus 350. Guess who's right below him?
Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker.
Yeah. Jordan Walker. Man, I don't want to put a Cardinal bet on here. I really don't because, well, I am going to have a Cardinal bet later. And we'll get into that. But I don't know.
Isn't Burleson a rookie for the Cardinals too? Alec Burleson?
Yeah, but he's not going to win
here.
Rookie of the Year, I don't
He's
think.
He's at plus 12,000.
Yeah, I mean, he's solid, but he's not going to have enough playing time. Walker will have enough playing time. But
What would that win me? Just out of curiosity.
who?
Can you not? What? Oh, never mind. I'm retarded. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go. What do we think? And so let's think about MVP votes for a second. Power usually wins over these, but so does average for some reason still. Jordan Walker could have a high average because I think to me it's down to Corbin Carroll, Jordan Walker. Corbin Carroll, though, is so versatile. He can play any position in the outfield. Jordan Walker is kind of limited to the quarters. He has good speed, but he hasn't played enough outfield games to where, again, the minors, to where I don't think he's going to be as comfortable as, like, let's say Corbin Carroll will be in the outfield. That's where he's played his whole minor league career. Corbin also is, Corbin's just so good, dude. But again, Walker's going to have way more home runs than Corbin Carroll, I believe. I'm going to look up Corbin Carroll's numbers here and see how he did in minors, because depending on how many home runs he hit kind of changes my mind here. Yeah, he's not a big home run guy. The most he's had was in Double-A. It was last year in general. In Double-A, he had 16. In Triple-A, he had 7. He's projected this year to have wow. I didn't see that. He had 4 home runs in the majors last year.
In the majors, Corbin Carroll did?
Yes. Just like how many games? 32 games. He had 4 home runs. His average was 260. He had a slugging at 500.
I'm taking Corbin Carroll.
Hang on. Let's see what he's projected, and then let's go to Jordan Walker and cover this again, because we can't forget Jordan Walker either here.
You're just holding on hope right now.
So Corbin Carroll's 22 this year. This is his age 22 season. He's projected to play 126 games. This is through Zips, by the way. He's projected to hit 15 home runs. That is going to be over, I believe. If he had 16, 7, and 4 through 3 different leagues in one season, he's definitely hitting more than 15. Oh, yeah. His K rate is 27.9. It's pretty good for today's day and age. He had 253 average, 351 on base percentage, a 428 slugging, and a 337 WOBA with a WAR of 3.6. Another projection has him at 4.2 WAR.
What do they say about Jordan Walker?
Let's pull him up. Man, I don't even know what they're going to do here. This is so hard.
No pressure. This is just a lot of money we could win.
I know.
No pressure.
So Jordan Walker is projected. This is the same projection system as Corbin Carroll. So it's not no favorite here. 100 games played, which is less than Corbin, surprisingly. He has 10 home runs, 56 RBIs, a 25% K percentage, 237 average, 380 slug. Maybe not like Jordan Walker, really, for his major league debut. Yeah. But I don't know if I agree with that, because you look at what he's done through every level he's been at. He's just been elite. I don't think this can be understated. In 2021 in single A, I know it's single A, he had a 687 slug. 687. My God. That can't 475 on base percentage. And then he went up to A+, then he just slugged 487 again. And then he goes 2022, he goes into Double-A. Yeah, I'll just slug 510. And then I'll just drop my K percentage to 21% over 27. Man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Corbin Carroll only because I think Corbin is more of a role on the team than Jordan Walker does on the Cardinals, because there's a lot of competition on the Cardinals opening day roster with the outfield to where it just seems like if everything goes right for the Cardinals and like let's say Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, and Newt Barrow hit, Jordan Walker's not going to have as many opportunities to play as like Corbin Carroll, who's probably going to be playing almost every day for the Diamondbacks. So I'm going Corbin Carroll.
I don't know.
That was a hard pick.
It was. I don't know why it won't let me parlay the Corbin Carroll pick, but it'll let me parlay every other pick.
That's weird.
So we'll come back and see if it's just a bug. But that's who our pick is.
That's who our pick is. Corbin Carroll.
I think it's something to do with the odds. Maybe it's the odds that doesn't jump up. AL MVP.
Shohei Ohtani.
That easy?
That easy for me.
It's
unbelievable.
I was gonna say the top five is Ohtani, Judge, Trout, Julio Rodriguez, Jordan Alvarez, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I would also I don't think Julio's a bad pick, but I think I'm just gonna go with Ohtani just because he pitches and hits. I mean, I don't think you have to really explain much more than that. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be one of the most valuable players. So I'm going to Ohtani.
NL MVP.
Nolan Arenado.
You're going with Arenado.
Nolan Arenado. That is not a biased pick. That's not a biased pick. It's not a biased pick. I promise you. I have reasons.
Brendan.
I have reasons here.
Okay, give me your reasons because Nolan's not even in the top five.
He's not even in the top five?
He's six. He's six.
Okay.
Him, Machado, Tatis Jr., and Acuna have the same. They all have the same odds. They're all the same odds. Well, and then right above them is Goldschmidt.
Here's why. So if you look at Goldschmidt, for example, when Goldschmidt came over here in 2019 was kind of a struggle year for him. You know, it was like his first year over. 2020, we're not going to really count because it was a shortened season. I kind of take all those out the window. 2021, he slightly improved a little bit, but it was a big jump from 2019. And in 2023, he went off, right? So his third full season, he went off. This is Nolan Arenado's third full season. His first year, 113 WRC plus. That was in 2021. So it was a little bit of a down year for him, comparatively speaking, in his career. Then 2022, last year, he had a 151 WRC plus. He skyrocketed in 2022. He is going to win MVP in 2023. I think it's going to be an exact flip of him and Goldschmidt last year, to where Goldschmidt will play kind of like what Nolan did in 2022, and then Nolan will overtake and do that. Because if it wasn't for Goldschmidt pitting in front of Arenado probably deserved the MVP more. To be completely honest, he was in top 3 MVP conversation last year, and the only other pick was Manny Machado. And I mean, he's a great player, but I don't think he was on the level of what Nolan and Goldie were doing, and especially what Goldschmidt was doing in like the middle part of the year. So I think it's a very easy pick for me because, I mean, I see him in the offseason. Like, as a Cardinal fan, I watch a lot of this stuff. He's constantly at drive line trying to improve his bat speed. He's constantly on the field working every single day to a level where I don't think I've really ever seen. And I just have this feeling, man, he's going to win MVP this year. He's going to win MVP.
If I miss this leg because somebody misses,
he's going to win MVP. Okay. I promise you.
So, overall, on the final parlay for the behind the loo guesses, I guess, we got Zach Gallen winning the NL Cy Young, Christian Javier winning the AL Cy Young, Gunnar Henderson the AL Rookie of the Year, and we have Corbin Carroll as the NL Rookie of the Year, but you can't pick it because I figured out why. Apparently you can't win more than $900,999.
That's how much this parlay would hit.
Oh, just wait. Gunnar Henderson, AL Rookie of the Year. Otani as the AL MVP and Nolan Arenado as the NL MVP. Currently at $10, right, which I'm going to put on it. Take a wild guess.
It's gonna be like $800,000.
Not quite. 500,000.
Oh my god.
508,600.
You better split this with me, dude.
No.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm fucking with you.
It's going to the Behind the Loop fund.
Yes. I'll swear to it. We have recording proof that if we win, I will give a third of it to Brendan and a third of it to Sean, even though he's not here, but he's on the podcast.
No, that shouldn't count. He didn't give any input on this.
Whatever, that halves and piss Sean off. I don't care.
So it's just
I tried.
Half
and half. So
we were the ones that were here. He should have went on vacation.
yeah, he's in Philly right now.
Why in Philly in February?
Not, I don't know. Could have went to the 76ers.
I think he went to a concert, to be honest.
Could have went to the 76ers game. I think they play Celtics at home today.
I don't think he cares about basketball. He doesn't seem like an NBA guy.
Nah, just a quick discussion. Hold on, I'll place this. Hold on.
I think you have one more. I think it's World Series prediction.
Yeah. We'll do that real quick because of I'm not gonna put it on its own parlay. I'm going to parlay the World Series winner with the Stanley Cup and NBA championship winner and see what happens. I'll do that off the podcast though. All right. So the current
Who is your Stanley Cup pick?
Bruins.
Bruins?
Yeah, dude, they're insane. They're just dogs. Like, it's really between the Bruins and the Kraken. They're both just insane.
Kraken? Really?
Yeah, dude. They're the only team that gave the Bruins.
You know who my
a run for their
NBA
money.
pick is?
Who?
The Bucks.
That's not a bad take.
I think I'm going to take the Bucks for the NBA.
The NBA. I think I'm going to pick divisional winners, and I have the Suns winning the West.
Oh, for sure.
When KD comes back. Anyways, back to World Series. If I know people don't like the NBA, so I'm not going to talk about it, but I enjoy betting on it. All right. The current favorites obviously are the Houston Astros at plus 600.
Yeah. I think that would be my pick.
That would be your pick because I feel safe with that because guess who they have at number 2?
I'm guessing Mets or Braves.
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
They're so high on the Dodgers every year.
The Yankees are 3.
I don't even think the Yankees are 3.
It goes
Who's 4?
Braves and then Mets and then Padres.
Oh my god.
Well, the Cardinals are it goes all right. I'll give you the list down to where the Cardinals go. It's Astros, obviously at plus 600, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Mets, Padres, Phillies, Blue Jays, Seattle, St. Louis Cardinals.
You know what? I'm gonna make a hot take here. I'm actually not gonna pick Astros. Because who
do you pick?
Every year it seems that there's a team that wins the World Series that isn't really. I mean, Astros last year were different, but they're kind of like a middle team. They're not like low.
They come out.
They're not low, but they've always been in conversation, but they're not the top. So I'm gonna go low, a little lower here. I'm gonna pick the San Diego Padres are gonna win the 2023 World Series.
I take that. I like that.
I like that team. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be Cardinals, Padres, NLCS. And I think the Padres will beat the Dodgers in the NLCS because I think there will be like a lower wild card. I think Cardinals will be a wild card team because they'll win the division, but I don't think they're going to be a number 2. I think they would play in the wild card. I think they play the Phillies again. I think they beat the Phillies this time. And then
I like watching those types of teams.
I mean, the Cardinals, Braves. Then I believe. No, that's not right. The Mets would be somewhere. I don't know. I have to pull up a playoff bracket. Yeah. But I think Padres overall. I think Padres win the World Series. I like that pick. I think it's 1, good money. 2, I think it's realistic. And 3, I think it fits a script.
Really?
Yeah, Fernando Tatis comes back and has
they win a World Series. That makes sense. So I mean,
Soto, everybody, yeah.
close it out. I like both these parlays. I mean, obviously anything can happen, and it's just cool to like look at them and hope for the best. I mean, because I've seen like this year somebody hit the NFL parlay one and guessed the divisional winners, and they won like 900 or like $1 million or something like that, and it really wasn't that complicated. Like everybody who predicted guessed the same thing. Just that guy was smart enough to put like $100 on it.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, it's just fun to do too. Just kind of go through
yeah,
every team and just kind of see where the season is and just kind of look forward to what's going to happen. And I think this year was kind of easy to put a bet on because I think there's a lot of just pick me picks here, like with AL MVP, for example, and AL Rookie of the Year for the, like awards wise. And I think like the division winners, I think most of them are pretty easy picks as well, like the AL West and the NL Central and
yeah.
it's just kind of like the NL East and AL East that are kind of flip floppy.
So overall, I mean, I would like to when the season does begin, especially maybe opening day, once we look at the roster, to go over all the lines you could go on, like the over unders and the money lines and the spreads,
Yeah,
whatever.
we're gonna
I'd
start
like to.
talking more about betting here because I've noticed a lot of our listeners are actually from Illinois, which legalizes sports betting. So
Friends,
there we go.
other addicts. I don't think I'm an addict, but I am. All right. I mean, that really covers it. Uh, so overall, again, I'll go over the parlays one more time in case, and I'll screenshot them and I'll send them to you so you can put them on the Twitter if you want.
Yep, I'll do that.
And then, so overall, we have the 6 leg parlay of all the divisional winners. These are all. I'm not going to name their division, but uh, the respective division we have Cleveland Guardians, Toronto Blue Jays, Houston Astros, Atlanta Braves, San Diego Padres, and the St. Louis Cardinals. You could obviously put more money on it. I put $10 on it. That would win you $1,149. The odds may change when you do it, but that's when I did it. Then the 5 leg, we could make it a 6 leg, but for whatever reason, I couldn't do the NL Rookie of
Because
the
of
Year.
how much money you would win.
I think that's got to be it. But uh, we have Zach Gallen winning NL Cy Young, Christian Javier winning AL Cy Young, Shohei Ohtani winning AL MVP, Nolan Arenado NL MVP, and Gunnar Henderson winning AL Rookie of the Year. And then we have our pick was Corbin Carroll winning NL Rookie of the Year, but he's not on here because I don't know why.
Yeah, but yeah, I think those are all pretty solid. Again,
I
we're
like
looking forward to everything. So will we visit everything at like the halfway point?
We can see like check everybody's progress.
Yeah, like check the
So
awards
we'll
and
have to remember that.
check the standings and everything.
Yeah,
So
that sounds good.
yeah, but that kind of completes everything today. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, right now we're just waiting for season to get going, which starts today with spring training. So we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on, so you don't miss any of our weekly episodes that we put out. We're hoping to have a lot more content coming out this season for sure. Since the Blues have been terrible, there's not much to really talk about.
Yeah,
But
Jordan Kyrie screwed me at $250 the other night.
but anyway, that completes everything. So we'll see you guys next week.